Welcome back to the summer series. Today, we're going to focus on some post surfing yoga flows to strengthen our cores and stretch our shoulders. So, let's get started. Start with a warm up from a standing position. So, with one breath in, you're going to bring your hands up through your sides to be on top of your head in an upward salute. And when you breathe out, bow down into a forward fold. Then straighten your back into a halfway lift and bow down forward into a forward fold again. With one breath in, you're going to bring your hands through your sides to be on top of your head again in an upward salute. And then when you breathe out, bring your hands to your sides. And then we're going to stretch out our arms. So first your tricep. You can bring your right elbow up and bring your left hand to stretch your right elbow. So it kind of looks like this from the back. So be here for several breaths so that you can really stretch out your right bicep. So every single time when you breathe out, you can pull your right elbow to the left side a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna switch sides to the other side. So open your arms and then bring your left elbow to be on top of your head and bring your right hand to pull on your left elbow this time. This is a really great tricep stretch. So every single time when you breathe out, you can use your right hand to pull your left elbow a little bit more. And then when you breathe out again, open your arms and we're going to go into some bicep stretch. So bring your left arm to your right side and use your right hand to pull on your left arm. So it kind of looks like this from the front. It's going to stretch out your left bicep. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So right arm to the left side and use your left hand this time to push your right arm to the left side to give your right bicep a stretch. And then when you're ready, open up your arms and we're going to get into some spinal warm-ups. So come down to the mat, or in my case, the towel, and we're going to do cat and cows for about 5 breaths. So when you breathe in, arch your back, bring your head up, and when you breathe out, round your back and bring your gaze down. And let's be here at our own pace for a couple of breaths to make sure that our spines are warmed up for more stretches later. When your spine is warmed up, you can pick up the speed when you're doing cat and cows until you feel like your spine is properly warmed up. And then we're going to go into a thread the needle. So bring your right hand up and thread your right hand through this little arch between your left knee and your left hand. And your left hand can walk all the way up to really help you to deepen into that right shoulder to stretch out your right shoulder. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So left hand up and thread your left hand into this little arch between your right knee and your right hand. Once again, you can walk your right hand up to really deepen into that stretch on your left shoulder. And be here for a couple more breaths. And then when you come out, you can walk your right hand back up into this tabletop position. From here, we're going to get into a downward facing dog. And we're going to do a quick transition from the downward facing dog into a plank. And through the plank, we're going to get into a chaturanga. So it's kind of like a halfway push up. And halfway through, you're going to flip into an upward facing dog. Through the upward facing dog, we're going to come back into a downward facing dog and really use this moment to deepen into your shoulder stretch. And then you're going to step your red leg up into your 3-legged dog and step your red leg forward in between your hands into a high lunge on your right side. And then engage your core to lift your left leg up into this supported warrior 3 pose. And make sure that your hips are leveled, and then we're going to revolve. So keep your left hand firmly on the ground and lift your right hand up towards the sky. And your upper body is going to open up to the right side into this revolved warrior 3. To come out of this pose, bring your right hand back to the ground and then step your left leg back, and then you can lift your right leg up into a three-legged dog and come back into a downward facing dog. Let's do it on the other side. So you can step your left leg up and then step your left leg through into a high lunge on your left side. And then engage your core again to lift your right leg. Make sure that your hips are leveled, and then we're gonna revolve again. So keep your right hand firmly on the ground and lift your left arm up. Bring your left fingertips to the sky and open your upper body to your left side in this revolved warrior 3 on your left side. To come out, bring your hands back down and bring your legs back down, and then step back into a downward facing dog. And then we're going to transition through a plank into a chaturanga, and then an upward facing dog, and then back into a downward facing dog. From here, you're going to either step or hop to the top of your mat or your towel so that we can roll all the way down onto the mat into our mat series. So we're going to get into a bridge pose. So make sure that your knees are stacked right on top of your ankles. And then with one breath in, lift your hips up into a bridge pose. So support yourself on your shoulders. And if you want to deepen that stretch on your shoulders, you can bring your hands together and tuck your shoulders under and just stay in this pose for a couple more breaths. To come out, if you tuck your shoulders under, then untuck your shoulders and bring your hands back to your sides and bring your knees to your chest. We're gonna get into some shoulder stance, all right? So you can keep your hands firmly on the ground first, and then use that momentum to engage your core and try to kick your legs up to see if you can be in a shoulder stand. But if this is kind of difficult for you, you can first come into a plow pose. So just bring your feet over your head to be on the ground. You can either keep your legs bent or straightened. And then from here, you can engage your core again to see if you can kick your legs up and try to bring your legs to be perpendicular to the ground. And if you want to deepen into the compression on each shoulder, you can lower one leg down at a time over your head to deepen into the compression on each side. So as you can see, I lowered my left foot down first, and then I lowered my right foot down. And the whole time I had my hands at the back of my back to support me. And if you want to come out, make sure that you have your hands on your lower back still, and then maybe use some momentum to push yourself back into a seated or lying down position. And then we're going to relax our lower backs by coming into a happy baby pose. So keep your legs bent, but bring the balls of your feet to be facing the sky. And then you can try to reach your legs or reach the outside of your feet to deepen the stretch towards the ground. And then we're going to deepen even further into a spinal twist. So first, bring your right knee to your chest, and then open your right arm to the side into a half T. And then you can try to push your right knee to your left side by using your left hand to push your right leg towards your left side. Okay. And then make sure that your shoulders are firmly on the ground so that you can deepen into that stretch. And then to come out, bring your right knee back to your chest again. And then we're going to switch sides. So left knee to your chest this time, and open your left arm to the side into this half T. And then once again, you can use your right hand to push your left knee to your right side. And to deepen the stretch, make sure that your shoulders are firmly on the ground. And to come out, once again, bring your left knee back to your chest and bring both knees back to your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees to squeeze into a tiny little ball. And then bring your hands to the back of your thighs to roll up and down a little bit until you can come into a boat pose. So use that momentum to help you to come into a V shape with your legs lifted and your upper body lifted. And then your hands are straightened to your sides and try to bring them to be parallel to the ground. And that's really going to engage your core. And your core is paramount for surfing. Okay. And then to come out, you can rock back and forth a little bit more by holding on to the back of your thigh. And then use the momentum to come back to a seated position and just appreciate that you have done this practice with me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on the mat. Bye.